Statued.
What happened, Janine? You're completely frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Are you okay?
I should go into a TV career because I'm
You
really
love
comfortable
cameras.
with it.
Yeah, really. All set to go.
Yeah. So, welcome everyone. Here we are today. Janine is with us today from Good Measures. She got so did up. She's like,
ready to
I dyed my hair.
you dyed your hair.
Was it just for the podcast?
Yeah.
You look,
wow.
so, but you look so good.
Thank you.
And then there's me and Justin just in our sweats.
Yeah.
It seems like, Luke changed his pants.
Yeah.
Luke was
That's
like, am I on
nice.
camera? He went and changed his pants. Me and Justin.
We went down.
We hoboed. I'm like, how much work can I do? Can I dress down for this? Like, yeah.
Maybe we're doing something wrong.
I don't know. Maybe
But you're comfy, so that's
I like to
nice.
be. To me, I'm like the last thing I want when I'm like having a fun conversation is to be like uncomfortable in like uncomfortable clothes and feeling all like stuffy and
Well, her clothes still look comfy.
Speaking of uncomfortable.
yeah. Is this rough for you?
Yes.
This is intimidating, eh?
Yeah, a little bit.
This is,
This is very serious.
There's a lot going on here.
There's
I know.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And things make you nervous.
But that's okay. Everybody loves you, Janine. So it's just going to be like one of those things where people are going to be like, "Oh, Janine is on," and then they're going to look and they're going to see your cute little laugh and
There's
be
that
like,
face.
"Yeah, there
Oh,
she is."
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's also why we wanted to have you on, because it's fun to like talk to realtors because they have stories, but you're like in the industry, but on the outside looking in.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that intrigues me.
Yes.
Like we've had a
My
lot of
life
dealings.
is fascinating.
Yeah,
Is
you
it?
get to see
Okay.
actually.
This
It's
is-
funny because you get to deal with probably 10 times more realtors than we do.
Yeah.
So you get like the experience that we have with realtors is like, once every, few days or once every, like week or something like that. But for you, it's like literally like 5 or 10 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many do you do a day?
Well,
Roughly?
not 10, but
Not that many. Yeah.
the most I've ever done in a day is 8.
Wow.
And by the end of the day, I was like run off my
vacation.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 4 is like a perfect, awesome, just normal day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 is good. Because I always have work when I get home, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think like we've worked together for like I think
The whole
ever since-
time.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Since you started.
You were
and I
one of
was-
my
you started.
first clients
Oh,
ever.
I gave you a shot.
And you're still around, so
Yeah.
I'm doing
I'm
something
still-
right.
listen.
Or there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I don't like change.
No, we don't. As
When they're not-
realtors, we're creatures of comfort, man.
Yeah.
When we find something we like, we just stick with it, man. There's no messing around.
And you
But-
too, Rob. You've been around for a very long time as
Yeah,
well.
but I'm still triggered by what you told me literally the other day when you were like, we went for coffee and Janine was like showing us camera stuff because she knows camera stuff, and Janine's like, yeah, when we first met, you were like super stern with me and like you dadded me a little bit, and I was
did.
like, what? I
You
don't
did.
have any recollection of like this conversation, and I'm like, I'm like actually kind of mortified that I acted like that.
No, but it wasn't a bad. You got serious with me and just talked about how you want to deal with people that are good and you work hard and all. And I was like,
I feel like when we first rebranded the company and stuff, like I do feel like I was a bit intense about some
See?
of that stuff.
You're like
wasn't
Mr.
I?
Professional. Like,
Yeah, right. Like, do you remember when we met, Justin? I feel like when our first meeting, I felt like I was like very intense about like the company and the rebrand and stuff. Which I mean, I'm still passionate about, but just maybe not as intense.
Yeah, I could kind of
can
see
be
that a little bit.
intense.
Yeah, you still have a bit of
I
that.
still have intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever.
Intensity is not a bad thing, though.
It's not okay.
No.
I was totally looking at it as a negative.
No, it's not, because you're passionate.
I just don't want to be too much. Do you know what I mean? I don't want people to leave a conversation with me and be like, that guy was a lot.
No.
I bet no. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
that
like,
one,
yeah,
that
that's
one
a
time.
thing. That's a thing.
Then you
Just
struck
the
me,
one
and
time.
now we're friends.
Yeah.
And,
Well, you deserved it.
You got past it.
You shouldn't have said that thing that you said.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
I don't think me and you have had any like crazy stories working together in 10 years that I can remember.
However,
Oh,
so this is something I didn't know back in the day, but we had been working together for, I think, a couple years, maybe even just 1 year. You'll remember this when I say it. But I was like, Justin and I were buddies. He likes me. He'll never use anybody else. He'll always use me. And then I saw you post a picture on Facebook of a house like for sale, and I was like, I know for a fact. I looked up the address, and then I said to Chris, I can't believe Justin did this to me. I can't. And he said, why don't you call him? And that's just not my personality, but I thought I have to ask him, and I guess to learn and grow and to be a responsible business person, I need to ask without the feelings part, but like, why would you use someone else? And remember, and I called you or I text you and just said, I hope it's nothing I did wrong. I feel like I work hard for you. Is there anything that you're upset about? And you said to me, you said that it was someone else's listing. So I know when realtors advertise, I know this now, but sometimes they'll be like, this house is for sale. And I see it and I'm like, what? And then I see the name and it wasn't even your listing.
So you jumped the gun.
I did. I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, I came up at the dinner table and everything.
You did. I was really worked up about it because it's hard not to take things personally because I'm a feelings person. So I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've gotten past it because I'm
you've
not
gotten
mad.
past it. It's not. It wasn't a me issue at all, which is what
This
I
is
thought.
what we
passed
like to
it.
say is an it's you,
Yeah.
not an it's me.
Yeah.
I thought I did something
No.
wrong. I was nervous. But,
I thought you dumped me.
Yeah.
But you didn't, so that's nice.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm glad.
We're fine now.
We're
It's
good.
fine.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad you got over that.
Yeah, me
Glad you
too.
guys were able to repair that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talk about that on
He
air.
didn't even
Yeah,
know.
I was.
Yeah.
You
I
really
feel like
stunned me there for a sec.
I feel like you should have been on the couch here and
Yeah, I was getting really.
getting your feelings
Yeah.
out on
Yeah.
this one. Okay, well, we're airing things
Wow.
out on this
Yeah.
one.
Well, I guess besides that hiccup and stuff, all these houses that you go to, I'm sure there's been some crazy stories. Do you have anything wild?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, let's go.
I'll have to try to keep them brief.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
The best one. Give us the best one right away.
the best story, I think, would be I had a new realtor contact me to come to this house. And it was a rural property in Sherwood Park. So I put it in Google Maps and I got there. And it was one of these properties where you can't see the house from the road. There's so many trees. There's just a driveway and the driveway curves. So, I'm by myself. It's a little bit weird. I'm a lady and I'm by myself. I'm very tough, but anyways.
Yeah. She's small, but she knows kung fu.
100%. So I drove up this driveway and there was a gentleman just standing at the doorway on the outside and he waved to me and stuff. So I thought, okay, this must be the realtor. So that was good. And as I'm getting out of the car, this other car, this kind of small kind of car drives up and this girl's in it. And anyway, she gets out and he looks confused and I don't know what I'm walking into. So I'm just kind of watching. And anyway, she looked a little panicked. She looked a little bit off and she said, oh, I'm looking for the Hyundai. And he said, okay, we'll just go this way. And, kind of told her where to go. So she got in her car and she took off and he still seemed a bit confused, but whatever. So we went in this house. This house was like a 7,000 square foot. It was an insanely big house and he wanted a floor plan and the whole thing. So he said, it's a complicated house. I'm going to walk you through it so you can kind of see what you're working with. And this house had a massive indoor pool and it had change rooms and it was
a resort.
Yes. And it was clearly vacant. There was no furniture whatsoever. So I said to him, so nobody lives here, it's vacant. He says,
Sorry,
yeah.
just for context, like how far into your career was this? Like when, roughly? Is this recently or was this like a while ago?
Probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
So I don't know,
you've
3
been
years
doing
in
it-
or
you've
something.
been doing it for a while already. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And so we go upstairs and it was a really, it was kind of a nightmare, very complicated house. And when we're upstairs, all of a sudden we hear like boom, 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 boom. Downstairs we hear footsteps, like someone running. And I looked at him and I said, I thought there was no one here. and his eyes were wide as saucers, and he starts shaking his head like, no. And then he left me. He went downstairs, and I'm standing up there, and I'm like, what the hell? So I ran down the stairs, and he's standing outside the front window, and his eyes were wide. The garage door opens, and this car takes off.
Wow.
So anyways, the lady, I guess there were people squatting in this house. We found there were these little kind of dormers, and there was a panel moved, and there were magazines and blankets. And anyway, I think what happened was the girl was coming back, saw us, panicked, probably called him and said, you need to get out of there. So anyways,
freaky.
So that was not great.
Wow.
For me.
Yeah.
That sounds like
That would not be great for me either.
Eventually he left me there because it took so long. It was taking me a really long time. It was complicated. So he said, I have another meeting. I'm going to have to leave you. So I'm in this house by myself. It was just not my best day. It wasn't great, but I'm still
And
here.
you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. Totally secluded.
Yeah, and just came from where like scary people were running out of the house.
Yeah.
Like this is how horror movies start.
Yeah, and I watched
100%.
so many of
Yeah.
those, so
Yeah.
bad idea.
Did
Yeah.
you go directly to Cabela's and buy bear spray after?
No.
No. So
I haven't
Is
put my
anyone-
kung fu skills, so
Yeah,
it's
you
fine.
feel confident
At the end of the
enough
day,
to-
I got this.
Yeah, you have your brass knuckles and you're okay.
All I think about is like my tripod is it'd be a good,
Good
Yeah.
swinging
yeah, you
thing.
could do some damage with the
think
tripod.
so.
You
Yeah.
could, yeah.
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 So
Okay.
that's that.
I'm gonna get you nunchucks for Christmas.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What is it with people, like rando people in houses, man? Like, you've got a story about that. You've got a story about that. I don't think I've
Your
experienced.
story is still coming.
Yeah. You just haven't. Yeah.
Everybody
Maybe.
in
Oh. We told you, do not
I know.
disturb.
So sorry. Oh, it's Granny. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you need to talk to
No,
Granny?
it's okay. I'll call her later.
You know what's the best right now is that I'm pretty sure my father-in-law is outside the house just leaf blowing like crazy right now.
I can hear
Is that what that
And
is?
That's what that is, yeah. So that's super fun. So if anybody can hear that outside, yep, that's George. He's out there
Aw,
just blowing
George.
the leaves around.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so anyway.
Do you have any other crazy ones?
I have a few. I'm not. What's appropriate?
You can go.
There's no.
Yeah,
There's
no holds
no-
barred on this one.
There's no content.
Okay, so
rating on this.
I went to a house, and it always happens when I'm by myself. Anyways, this realtor said to me, "Can you go to this property? I'm not able to be there." She said the guy's a little bit off, but he's nice, and it'll be fine. I should always, when someone says that, go, "Can you come? Like, can you come with me?"
Yes.
So, anyways, I show up to this house. I'll never forget it. It was pretty messy. It wasn't the nicest house, and the guy had swords hanging on the walls and stuff. No judgment.
Red flag.
And he had the Japanese women, the cartoons, but with the boobs
Oh, okay.
all over. He had them all over,
Okay.
and I was like, yeah,
Fits with the sword.
that's your art. It fits with the swords. So, anyways, there was this little girl there, this sweet little girl. So she was kind of hanging out with me, and I'm walking around, and I'm letting her use the laser, and she was so sweet and so cute. And anyways, we went to go into one of the bedrooms, and the guy looks at me and goes, "Oh," he's like, "sorry about that room." And I went, the door was shut, and I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Oh, my cat died a few weeks ago."
Oh no.
And I looked at him. I thought, no. I said, "Is it in there?"
No.
He goes, "No." I opened the door.
Who was in there?
Oh, there's vomit all over the carpet. There's poop
gosh.
all over the carpet. Like, it was...
Disgusting.
He just opened a window and shut the door.
He just closed the door. He's like, this doesn't exist anymore. This room's off limits now.
I'll get to this next week.
Yeah, not part of the
Yeah.
house anymore.
I did a house once where I guess the poor lady, she had some mental health issues, but anyways, her cat died, so she put it in the freezer. So the realtor had to chip the cat out of the freezer.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Wow.
god, that creates a very interesting visual, I
Yeah.
must say. With an ice pick and a hammer.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
giving her a-
Yeah, some weird stuff.
It's crazy.
And
Okay, I'm noticing a very serious theme here with real estate and weird stories. So it always involves a fucking cat.
Always cat.
There's always,
Always
a cat.
Yeah.
And there's always random scary people that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? It seems like those seem to be the two big themes of like the most crazy real estate stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes cockroaches.
Yeah. Well, let's
That's
not
the
talk
thing.
about that. Okay, we got to move forward here on this bad boy, but those were awesome. Like seriously, those are fantastic stories. What's dinging now? What do we have now that's dinging? Is it you?
Is my watch?
It's you. Is it Granny
How
again?
do you make it quiet?
Is Granny
It is
trying
Granny.
to...
Yeah. How do you...
You need to talk to Granny?
Silence.
Is
Can
it
I say
important?
sleeping time?
Yeah.
Is that what does it?
You
Sleep.
put it on
I'm sleeping.
theater mode.
I don't know how to do that.
But do you talk to Granny? Is it important? Because
It's
you
okay.
can talk to her.
I'll call her later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
what
have
if
a
it's
chat.
an emergency?
No, it won't be.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just wants to ask you for a recipe for fondue?
Maybe.
Okay.
Since you work with all these different realtors, there's got to be something that we do as realtors that's like a big pet peeve to you.
Yeah, what do we do? What do we do to piss you off, Janine?
How do I say this?
Oh.
I piss me off is not right. I don't think it takes a lot.
Subtly annoy.
Subtly annoy. Particularly now with photography, it's frustrating if they don't show up. And
Like,
if it's
like the realtor doesn't show up to the
with
appointment
with
you?
pictures or video tours, if they're not gonna come but the people are home, if there's no one there, I love that. I'll put on a podcast, I'm fine. But people that don't do this every day don't understand that they need to be out of the way. Like, you guys deal with this probably all the time.
Yeah.
And there's stuff, these cameras pick up everything.
Yeah.
Can you please? And a lot of time they want to talk to you and see what you're doing, but they need to go. Like,
Is
they
it the
need to.
realtors generally or the homeowners that you
The homeowners, but to
It's
me,
the realtor that didn't prep the homeowner.
I get it.
technically.
the realtor, if they can't be there, hopefully they can prepare their clients and let them know that it's super important.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
because they're always like, well, feel free to move anything. Well, I got to move everything. I got to make your bed. I gotta do all that, right?
The feel for and listen, I really go out of my way to try to be helpful, because to me, I look at it like, you know, I don't just measure, take photos. My job is to make your life easier. You guys are paying me to make it a successful listing. So I have no problem. I've helped realtors make beds. I've helped a realtor a few months
Don't
ago
advertise that. Don't advertise that.
make beds.
Don't advertise that. You don't want to, you're going to have every single realtor in the city is going to be like, hey, we're hiring Janine now because she makes beds.
That's okay.
And cleans
Do you
up
know what though? I
dead
just look at
cats.
it. It helps
She chips
them.
cats out of freezers.
Well, because you guys walk into a property and no matter what you tell your client, like, it needs to be clean, and people have a different concept of clean,
Yeah.
and they're like, I did. But for you to do your job properly, things have to look good. They have to be nice. So I don't have a problem helping do that. I think that's part of my job, is to make your life easier.
it's not, but it's very admirable that you do that, right? It's cool that you can actually have a relationship with people that's good enough to the point where you're actually like, yeah, I will help you do stuff, because I guarantee there's probably like tons of measurements companies out there that'll just be like, no, I'll just wait in my car until you're done doing this, and then I'll come in.
I hear that so much from people. They're not willing to. That's not my job.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. People are paying you good money to help them, and if they need you, also, like, be a human to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's more about being a human, because I do think it is kind of offside to even to ask or expect that somebody would do that outside of their realm, because you're right. I mean, technically it's not your job to do that kind of stuff, right? So it's not like it's not within your rights to be like, no, I'm not going to do that, right? Like, and I mean, I'm sure you have limits too, right? If somebody's like, hey, can you go like unclog my toilet? Like, are you going to do that? Probably not, right? But I'm just saying, like, there are some things that you would help with and go like outside of your own, you know, duties to be able to like help out and make things a little easier on people, right?
Yeah.
So which is cool.
Yeah, it's because you care about the person selling the house, that you want them to
Yes.
Yeah.
have a good sales experience.
Yeah.
And
Yes, because the people that I work with are my friends to me. I look at it like that.
Yeah, and you're also kind of in a customer service industry too, right? Where it's like your reputation matters, and the better you are with that kind of stuff, the more you'll get referred and that kind of thing too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's like the same thing like this podcast, right? Like the whole point of this is to like spotlight entrepreneurs and show people like here's a different side of people. So like just in case you're looking for somebody good, then then it's here's a good option, right? So they can see a different side of you and that kind of thing. So it's all about sharing that with people and you know what I mean, and putting that out there to the world, right?
You're not supposed to call it a podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I've been struck about that a few times, but
Justin's been known to do that.
he does. Yeah, he gets very violent. So anyway, we got to move on because we're at 20 minutes so far. So, we're gonna skip that one. Let's just jump right into the lightning round, okay?
Oh yeah, lightning.
So this is pretty quick.
Intense.
This is quick. It's actually quick, and this one's pretty fun. So we're gonna ask a few quick questions. We weren't gonna dive into them super deep, but just want your opinions on some things. Okay. So like what? And then this one might be a little bit tough for you, and I probably already know the answer. But what is your family's current favorite restaurant or local spot to go? Like what would you wanna?
Happy and Olive.
We kind of figured that would be the case. So what is your experience with Happy and Olive, and why?
Because the owners are fantastic and the food is fantastic, but also their family. So it's nice to go there. It's like going to visit family, going to a family dinner, but they also create that atmosphere. Yeah. So,
And for anyone that doesn't know, the owners of Happy and Olive used to own Canteen, Red Ox Inn, and what was the other one? There was one more, wasn't there?
No, just those.
Oh, just those two?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Canteen and Red Ox Inn, which were like
so
I
good.
I actually never got a chance to go to Red Ox, which I was like kind of disappointed about, but Canteen was my favorite restaurant in the city.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. And Happy and Olive, like we've been there lots and already, and it's pretty new, couple months, and it's phenomenal already. They did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been for coffee. It's definitely on my list to go for dinner. Haven't had a chance to do that, but I definitely want to do that. So awesome.
All right. So let's just say Good Measures just wrapped up its best year. Where are you taking the family on vacation?
It's your dream vacation. Where do you want to go?
I would love if it was
money is no object. You did the best year you ever did. You have all the money in the world. What's your dream vacation?
I would love to take the kids to France. Oh, and Chris, he can come.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
23 and me, Chris. We didn't get a chance to talk about his background, but we'll skip that.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to take them to France and just see everything. And the girls are in French immersion, so they can translate for me. That'd be great. But just all the food and the culture, and I'd love to do that.
I was going to ask you, would you lean more towards like, is the culture more the draw, or is the food more the draw?
Food is always the draw.
Food is the draw. Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Yeah. And French is obviously your cuisine of choice, though.
Yeah.
Really?
I was trained in French cooking, so.
What do you mean you were trained? What does that mean?
I went to school for cooking.
You went to school for cooking?
You didn't know this?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of...
Culinary arts. I took culinary arts, and then I got my journeyman's ticket.
All this cooking stuff that I always see makes so much more sense now. I thought you were just a total hobbyist. I didn't realize that you were like actually trained.
Yeah, I got journeyman's certificate. I got my red seal. I got my blue seal, and then I became a mom and have dinner parties.
That is wicked.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. You didn't know that, Robbie?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool.
That's my passion.
Well, yeah, food.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Next question. When are we invited to a dinner party?
We should do that.
Why have we not been invited?
We should do that.
Listen, do you remember how you were talking about how you saw Justin and were like, and you were like sad because he didn't, you thought maybe he betrayed you and didn't like use you for a thing?
Uh-oh.
This is how we feel every time we post a dinner party at your house. We're like, well, maybe one day we'll get invited to one of these fancy dinner parties.
We should do that. I think we should do that. That'd be really fun.
I think that'd be
And
super
I'm
fun.
very fun, so.
Yeah, well, I'm in.
Okay.
Okay. Should we just go to Good Human? I think we got to now at this point. Okay, but wait, before we go to Good Human, I do have one more. This one's a fun one.
Okay.
If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Oh.
Any 3 people.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Uh,
Sorry.
That's a tough one.
I know.
that was...
I'm sorry, Janine. I just, like, as that was coming out of my mouth, I just realized...
That's okay.
Like, what we were talking about.
My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Also, Thomas Keller.
Who is that?
He's the greatest chef on the planet.
Oh.
Yeah, he's so cool. So,
Yeah.
Who else? Gosh. Ryan Reynolds, because he's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Frickin' Ryan Reynolds, man. He would be on my list. We talked about
We
that.
did. I was going to say, he came up in the last
Yeah,
one, too.
he
This
did.
guy's going to get...
Ryan and Ryan.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, okay, that would be pretty...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Good
good that's a
list.
good lineup. That's
Yeah.
a good lineup.
That'd be a good dinner.
And you know what I'm just realizing right now, and not to, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole super far, but like I was just thinking about this, like all three of us have lost our dads. And that's like something that actually like you know, even Justin, shit, we just lost a camera.
It's okay, you got 2 other ones going. Hopefully.
But I don't want it to be the main one. Hold on one sec. The main one's still going, so we'll still go. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to like go too far down this thing because I don't want to make you super emotional, Janine. But I know that when I lost my dad, I know me and Justin talked about this quite a bit, and you and I have actually talked about this quite a bit too. But it's a weird thing where you like it's really hard to talk to people about it unless they fully like have experienced it.
Yeah.
And it's like the people that are like that you can actually, and this was just my experience, right? The people that can relate to you the best are the people that have gone through it. So it's like this really exclusive club that nobody really wants
That
to be a part
sucks.
of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's kind of a weird thing for the 3 of us to all have in common, but I just kind of like put that together like in this moment when we were just talking about that, and it's kind of a weird thing. I feel like we could do a whole podcast just on that
Definitely.
topic alone, but I'm sure there'd be a lot of tears and maybe not as much happy stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, it's but sorry, I didn't mean to take that down a
That's
dark
okay.
road.
That's okay.
But let's lighten things up now. So what we do at the end of all these podcasts is we do our Good Human nomination, right? So we always prep the person coming on. So we'd like you to nominate a good human today, and we can put them in our mix.
Okay, this was really tough for me because I know a lot of wonderful people. Frankly, I only have great people in my life. People that aren't so great, I do not. So I had to think really hard about maybe someone who does something a bit exceptional more than other people would do. So I'm going to nominate a realtor. His name is Travis Horlock.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I dealt
Because-
with Travis.
Yeah. A few reasons. He's lovely. He's just a really kind person. And the way he engages with his clients, he's a really big part of his community, and that means a lot to him. But the guy, every single year, he raises thousands of dollars for the MS Society. He goes on these, I don't know a ton about it, but these intense bike rides where, I don't know, it's tens and tens and tens of kilometers. I don't know how many. I think it's a group of people, but they will ride for like 24 hours straight and stuff
crazy.
like that.
Wow.
And then
And that's all to raise money for a charity. or
Yes,
something?
and they raise thousands, and they do this every year. And also, he just told me the other day, I saw him, and I said, what are you up to? And he said he's training currently to be part of volunteer rescue teams for
Wow.
skiers on mountains.
Wow.
He's just always doing stuff like that, so I just
Wow.
think,
That's
Pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
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 So
don't-
there's that.
Yeah, I don't
I
really
didn't know
him
that about him.
personally. Have you ever done a deal with him before?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
He's so
those
nice.
are such quick interactions, right? Most of it's
Yeah.
text or
Yeah.
email and stuff.
Yeah.
Always got a really cool vibe from
Yeah.
him, and I've heard good things about him, but
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a part of that. So big shout out to
Yeah.
Travis.
Yeah, big shout out to Travis.
Yeah.
Man.
He's,
That's
he's
cool.
out in Spruce Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll make sure we tag him in this when we post it.
Yeah.
So to give him a good little shout out from you, but
Yeah. Good nomination.
Yeah, no doubt. That's awesome. Well, as
there's
the leaf blower
there's the siren. There's
fires back up again and tells us it's time to wrap this up.
there's the buzzer.
All right. Well, that was so awesome, Janine. Thank you so much for being a part of this and doing this one with us.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, that was really cool.
All right.
Okay.
On to the next one.
All right, let's go.
That was good.